Hi everyone, today I'm here to talk about The Wager by David Grann. Sorry if the lighting is weird, it's really dark today because it's cloudy outside, and so I put up a little light with a spotlight on it, but I don't have like the nice studio lights with the diffuser boxes or whatever. But anyway, this is about The Wager by David Grann. He wrote Killers of the Flower Moon, which was recently made into a movie. Haven't seen it yet, so don't spoil it for me. I mean, I read the book, so I know what happens, but I don't need to hear about the movie or anything because I'll maybe eventually watch it. But yes, so he wrote Killers of the Flower Moon, also The Lost City of Z, and a couple of other books I can't remember right now. But this is his newest book, The Wager, A Tale of Shipwreck, Mutiny, and Murder, and I loved it. I read this book and it left me just wanting more. I wanted more detail, I wanted more accounts, I wanted to know more about the survival on an island, because it is about a group of men on the Wager, hence the name of the book. The Wager is their ship, who get shipwrecked and their survival. But it was just like, it was about so much more than that. It was about hierarchy in the British Navy and how they perceived people, and how even when they were shipwrecked, they're supposed to obey their captain as if he is still their captain of the ship, and follow his orders and everything, even though they're completely in a different situation than being on a floating, working Navy ship, you know, when they're shipwrecked on an island. So it was just about society and humanity and survival and hierarchy and everything. And I will never finish this book review because I keep getting calls. I'm having surgery tomorrow. Hang on one second. Okay, sorry about that. We're just going to do a little fadey thing where I cut in between me having to answer that phone call, and we'll get back to this book review. Yes, sorry, I am having surgery tomorrow, and I've been really nervous about it, which is why I haven't been like reading a lot or putting things on YouTube or literally anywhere, like working on my podcast, anything like that. But that's the second time. I started filming this again because they called and I missed it, then I called them back, and now they just called again. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna do the fade in, fade out. It's fine. It'll be weird in the random of a book review. But anyway, back to The Wager by David Grann. So, read it. Left me wanting more. Like, I wish that there had been more description about their survival on the island. Like, legit a day-by-day account. I would have devoured that. Or some of the men, I'm not going to spoil the ending or anything, but some of the men do try and, like, survive and, like, get off the island and leave. And I wanted more of, like, well, what was happening when they did that? What about all of this? Like, oh my gosh, I wanted more. And I did find afterwards, there was a man on the Wager named Bulkley, and he wrote an account. Sorry, his name's John Bulkley, his name isn't Bulkley. And I found it online for free on the Internet Archive. They've like scanned it and put it in, and I am so excited to read it. I already started reading it, and I'm just really excited to read a first-hand account because, like I said, once I finished it, I just wanted more. And David Grann wrote a lot. He writes really well. I totally loved it. I mean, the first line of the book, I was like, this is so good. I'm just going to read it to you so I don't mess it up. Ready? The first line of the book is, "The only impartial witness was the sun." And I read that and I was like, you've already captured my attention. That was a fantastic first line. And it was just like that the whole time. It was just so well written. You get to know not all of the people on the ship, but you get to know some of the characters and their background, family they might have had that they're trying to get back home to and everything. So, and I thought I would kind of like hate the captain in the end, but I kind of felt bad for him. And like I said, I'm not going to tell you guys who lives, who dies, whatever, but I just kind of felt really bad for everyone who was involved in it because it sucks, you know? They're shipwrecked and they're trying to survive and it's just awful. And yeah, it's so fascinating, so good. I will talk about one part. There was a group of natives who came to the island while they were shipwrecked called the Kawaiskar. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But they're basically like a canoe faring people who lived off the coast of Chile, and it was another interesting aspect of the book that they're, you know, all the British people are like, oh, these savages out here, ugh, they're so, uncultured. And I'm like, yeah, well, guess what, buddies, they're surviving and you guys are all starving to death, so maybe, like, I've always been interested by that, by Europeans thinking that other people are savages whenever they come to a new world. Meanwhile, they all start starving to death, and the indigenous people are like, hey, here's food because we actually know how to survive out here. Like, looks like your little culture isn't saving you here. So, anyway, it was a very fascinating part to me. I've also never heard of the Kawaiskar, sorry again if I'm saying that wrong, people, and it was super fascinating to learn about them and see and learn how they survived in that really, really harsh climate of like off the coast of Chile, like South America, down there, freezing, raining, cold, you know. It was so fascinating, and like I said, I highly suggest The Wager by David Gran, and if you like this, go check out his other books. I liked Empire of the Flower Moon, sorry, I couldn't think of that title for a second there. Sorry. Killers of the Flower Moon. Oh my gosh. Is there another book that has... sorry. Killers of the Flower Moon. My brain's kind of fried today, guys, because I'm having surgery tomorrow. Yesterday I was totally late at work because I thought a wedding was at a different time. Luckily, other people at the wedding were late, so that worked out well for me, but oh my gosh, like, I'm sorry, guys. So, Killers of the Flower Moon, go check out that as well if you like The Wager, because... And if you like the movie, go check out the book, of course. And if you haven't seen the movie, go read the book and then go maybe watch the movie. I don't know. Anyway, yes, that is The Wager by David Gran. Super well written. If you like it, go check out John Bulkley's firsthand account. Like I said, you can find it free online. I just Googled John Bulkley Wager, and there was like a link to the book that he wrote afterwards. So, yeah. That's it. I like David Gran. I like his writing. It was very good. There's pictures, which I always like pictures in books. And, geez, I feel like I had a good question for this one, but once again, my brain is not working. I can't remember. Had to answer a phone in the middle of this. Like, this is a crazy little video about The Wager by David Gran. I'm sorry, David Gran. I'm sorry. Your book is really great, so I'm just going to end it with go read The Wager by David Gran. Sorry, I can't think of... Had a question in my head once again. Brain all scattered. Just go read it. It's really good. And yes. You all have a lovely and wonderful and great day.